Good evening, world. I realize I'm starting late, so I may not have anybody here right now. But if you are here bright and early for the very beginning of the stream, welcome. This is meant to be a Dungeon Masters of Entrath, the Hex game show. I am your host, Thrawn. We have been doing this for 10 months. You are someone, Romos Jr. How are you doing? Maybe you'll even challenge. Ooh, hey, don't get crazy now. The format for the dungeon it's still Immortal format. Commons and uncommons only, except you may use rare resources. All players start in room 1 and then from there have the choice on where they go. Basically, it takes 4 fights to get to a final boss and clear the dungeon. So, like I said, Immortal format, commons and uncommons only, rare resources, okay? Romos, if you do want to challenge the dungeon, just let me know for sure and remind me your in-game name. And we'll throw down. Otherwise, without official challengers, I'm going to need to find some things to do to pass the time. I might fire up an Evo if I'm really thinking it's going to be a while. Will, but I gotta finish a game. Alright, sounds good. Well, I'm gonna jump into the Frost Ring arena here, because I'm gonna bet I can just whip through a game of Frost Ring faster than you're gonna have a game with a person. So apparently I had this arena run going with... This has got to be some commons and uncommons deck I was building just to test. Since I'm running tier 1 with this, and I don't know why I'd be running tier 1 for any other reason. Yeah, this was supposed to be a Verdict Spirit thing that I thought was going to be good in Rock, and this was before even candles had truly become the dominating force. And yeah, this deck's just not very good. I've seen a lot of Conscript in Rock, so I know it, or not Conscript, Verdict, so it can be decent. It's just that this is not the deck to be decent. Some cheap damage. Grab a resource to make Luxguard playable. Four is probably enough resources. Grab something else. I mean, I'll take that. Sure. Give the spirit deck more spirits. Let's see how that works for you. Ready, you are alone here. I started late. I didn't have as much of a counter. Much time to build up the hype. Alright, let's just withdraw, because I'm not going to want to keep running with that deck. Alright, Romos, what is your in-game name? I think it might be the same, but I'm forgetting. Stigma! There we go. Now the party's starting. Stigma, you are second in line. Romo got here faster. So Romos has the Whisper, just needs to send me a challenge and we will get the party started. Stigma Busters on deck. Up. It has to be an immortal challenger. I can't see the vast majority of my decks. That was it defaulted to a standard challenge, so that's why I couldn't accept it. All right, so butterflies. Rather than fighting zombies first this time, everybody has to play some lovely, wonderful butterflies. Just for Funs is exactly the kind of decks we like here on Dungeon Masters. Just playing Tharaz. I have a one-shard hand. That's way better. I think I want adventure here because I know I have my second and third shard drops already. Alright, so let's see what we're got. Throw it on Party Fungi on 2. We have Bluebell Dryad on 3, and then we need something that can start doing the transformation work, otherwise we just have troops and tricks. Web Scribe, when you play a charge, target opposing troop gets -2 attack power until the start of your next turn. So let's be really dumb. Let's Wild Growth Party Fungi, and then use Battle of Destiny to kill that thing. Grab another card. Swing in for 4. It will look like an old-times Evo. There we go. We have an old-timey Evo deck versus new-timey draft deck? Am I allowed to call this draft level good? Warp Steel Shard Sworn. Gemmed with when you play an action, it gets bigger, and this one is when a troop enters the crypt, it gets +2 attack. Yeah, bring on that Whimsy Witch! That's what we wanted to see. Because that'll get +3/+3 on top of whatever it transforms into. And I think also is immune to that. We will see. No swings. Alright, that turns into a 5/7, and it breaks the rules. It can swing even without a constant. Alright, throw down the Dryad. Now then this transforms, we get a card. Underworld Crusader is a problem. There's not much of a great way to directly deal with that in this deck. Sorry, I know I shouldn't be yawning like 20 minutes into a stream, but it was a long work day. No! No, the witch dies. And you know what? I could have blocked that. I just... Nothing would have... Alright, well, time to get another witch out. No point to attacking. And so now this will probably come in again. Oh good, there's another one of them. Thraz is also totally online. Tactician, okay, I see the combo here. Lots of dreadlings, lots of power pumping on them. So this is gonna hurt. This is going to hurt a lot. Plus hopeless boy. Okay. Oh god, that's 9. Ow. Yeah, feeling pretty dead. And it can only hit this once. Rebellions are built on hope. Oh, you needed to turn into something better than that. Alright, well, throw it on spell Sunk Sweeties as a blocker, Wild Growth for defense. Dingle Whiz is not what the doctor ordered. No! No! Okay, so two Underworld officers pretty much means death. That's 9. Yeah, that's 9 by itself. That's game. So Romo has taken out the fear of butterflies. He ain't afraid of no transform. And now from room 1, we have the options of room 15, 5, 8, or 2. So just need to know from Romo's which direction we are going. We're going to 2. Alright, excellent. Send me a challenge when you're ready. We will fight room 2. Defeat 2 and you'll have the choice between room 16 and room 9. Take down the map. Wait for the challenge to come in. Room number 2. Room number 2 is Zoophobia, the fear of animals. One of the 18 Phobias decks that premiered back on the Hex annual charity stream back in October, a little bit before Halloween. This is Grandfather Elk. Pay 2 charges. Target troop gets +3/+3 and crush for a turn. Alright, so it's taken a second to give us hands. There we go. And this hand is pretty awful. 2 ruby shards, a baby yeti, and then... yeah, I don't like it. Oh, man. I mean, I guess we make do with this. The 1 shard Ice Keep was going to be a little bit too greedy. Even though it was amazing to have 2 Mama Yetis in that hand. I think that hand was ready to go off. But hey, we found another Mama Yeti right away. Alright, so turn 2, we play Wild Shard into the Fearsome Trotting Buffalo. Majestic. 2/3 for 2. That for some reason requires double threshold. Don't ask me why a vanilla 2-3 needs to have double threshold. Now, this one's a real old one, so people may not remember this. Genesis Hydra, when it is dealt damage, it gets +1/+1. So if you fail to kill it, it will just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Gonna go ahead and block that so I don't take a point of damage needlessly. Alright, so the Web Scribe into charge means that Trotting Buffalo is a little less majestic, a little less powerful for the next turn. Grab a Ruby Threshold, throw down Baby Yeti. Baby Yeti's not going to do anything. Resource would be the perfect draw here next turn, so that I can start attempting to apply a little aggression. Now, this deck might have a better chance of dealing with the Underworld Officer. Especially with pheromones to force a block on it if it's not exhausted. Alright, so we wanted a resource. I don't think that was the resource. I'm going to get another one, though. Because that way... Well... May have been a mistake. I was thinking this into pheromones. That's going to swing, so that'll be exhausted. Actually, most of this stuff is going to be exhausted. So pheromones wouldn't have that much of a benefit. Yes, that's 8, 9, 11 that coming in. Yeah, I just gotta protect health a little bit. Give up the Baby Yeti. I think I'm still going to use pheromones just to force that to die. I love pheromones. Such a powerful card. I'm surprised that some version of that effect hasn't been reprinted at all. Because for me, that's a card I love to sneak in any of my Immortal Wild decks here. Strangled Buffalo. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. And I think that's lethal. If we're not dead on this swing, we're dead on the next one. Just vomiting all the cards out on the board. Yep, that's plenty. That's plenty. Romos is going to move on. Alright, that was rooms 1 and 2. So now 9 or 16 is the play from here. Choose your destiny. $16. Alright, shoot me a challenge when you are ready. We are doing up room 16. What is that? And room 16 is Cataptrophobia, the fear of mirrors. I believe Pandemica, aka the Treble Magistrate, found himself the victim of this deck last week when we were able to engineer some fun old shenanigans. This isn't the greatest hand, but it has one of our dream states in it, Mirror Mirror, to create a copy of up to 2 target cards. Zodiac Crowfeather turns another troop into a copy of that, so kind of mirroring itself. So thematically we're on point. Soaring Talon is the champion to give 2 troops flight. Lots of pairing here. Can hope that the shard drawn is wild. Alright, because we're staring down a Dread Factory, so of course ask for wild, get a Sapphire. We hit a Devoted Infuser, which I will look at when I'm not running clock. Start of each opposing champion's turn, ready this. So it turned itself into that 3/5 necrotic, except that that does it at combat phases, where this is just at the start of a turn. Alright, so still no wild. Throw down the Devoted Infuser, pass the turn, and really hope to see a wild shard here. Wild shard would probably be Lith Lyricist and Howling Brave. Get 2 bodies down, have one of them become the Zodiac target, rather than a troop that already has flying being converted. Okay, game. Four Sapphire Threshold. No wild. Kismet saying that they want Romo to win, I think. Tactician, robots you control get +1/+1 this turn. Stacks nicely with Tharaz charge power. Opponent doing us a favor and burying a copy of Mirror Mirror, which cannot be afforded right now. That deck going very wide. Alright, no resources open, so this is a safe block. Really, game? 12 cards deep, not a single source of wild. This is a safe swing because it will ready up at the start of their turn. So we might as well take our 3 points of damage. And my boy gets strangled. Not even using the charge power. Just straight slapping without. I can't even use Replicator's Gambit because I have no troops in play. Wow, did this draw awful. Romo going all in on loading up the Dread Factory. This is over. That plus that equals massive swing. 3, 6, 9, 12. Definitely enough here. This deck did nothing this time. Romo cruising through. Okay, so that deck offered 0 resistance. And from 16, we automatically go to room 17. So no choice this time, Romo. The die has been cast. Your final battle awaits you in room 17. Go ahead and send me a challenge when you're ready. And I need to get the map up to preemptively be ready to see your Dungeon Masters of Entrath. There. Alright. So if you win and clear the dungeon, I am now ready to mark up the map. Final battle, room 17! What is room 17? It is a bonus room. This is multiple dungeons ago. You accidentally hit the cancel every time. Yeah, they're weirdly positioned. They are very weirdly positioned. Let's get the map off here. And what is my deck trying to do? This is Papa Goot. This is Pappy Goot. This hand kind of sucks and is kind of great at the same time. I'm going to keep it. 3 Decree of Banishing. They're all... Those are constants. Those are going to make the Vesper bigger. And they're going to take a threat off the board. Ooh, Dawnsteed. Dawnsteed likes constants. Turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 and 5, maybe. I take it back, I like this hand a lot. This hand is great. Void target opposing troop. Why are you saying I could play that? There's no opposing troop. Alright, so those are annoying, but not really the key pieces of the deck. So, go Double Blood to represent that we might have the ability to play Strangle. Doesn't so much matter because we're going Vesper Dawnsteed. Swing with this. Not even gonna block. Doesn't want to lose it yet. Takes 2 points of damage. Romo now up to 4 resources, another Warp Steel Shard Sworn. Quite annoying to see 2 of them. Just gum up the board with a bunch of little blockers. Alright, now it's time, I think, to start assassinating a few things. We're going to Decree of Banishing to get rid of a Dreadling Generator. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. And I'm going to get rid of the one that has Rage, I think. Yeah, I get rid of the one that has Rage. And now swing with both of these. And let's get a race on! Woo! Let's try to get in some damage. Alright, so just a chump block. Preserve some health, that's fine. The Dreadling Swarm is now online with the Dread Factory. Okay, and we have 1 Decree of Banishing left to snipe that, which is happy. And we're going to be able to play the other Dawn Steed at the same time. So we've kind of... Alright, that's fine. Not super great, but not the worst. Play Resource. Decree of Banishing away. The Skittering Cultivator. Get out of here. Swing for 5. Play a Dawn Steed. Yeah, so no, there are enough resources online to do a pump on this, but I don't recall seeing a whole lot of real quick, immediate Dreadling play. Cycles the coin to try to find anything else. Gets a Skittering Cultivator. Swings for 2, will block 1. Dreadlings must swing. Let's Fate Weave for a non-resource. Put another Daybreak on the table. That'd be 1, 2... I think I'm fine doing this. Because that can just trigger into that anyway, so... Yeah, let's go in and deal our damage. Okay, it's 2, 4, 6, 8... 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points of damage coming in, assuming a full swing. Not a full swing. But it does put us down to 7. Alright, piece of removal off the top here would be fantabulous. Or an AI only card! So that's going to really counter the Dreadlings. Is gaining 5 enough? Strangle's going to hit that. Alright. Better that than this. 2, 3, 4... Doesn't have the ability to charge them up. So I got a math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nah, we're fine. Dungeon Master final boss found one of his AI only cards just in time. Everything exhausts into completing the Dread Party. They all die off, but Twilight Archon has a clear path to sail through. Oh god, and then we found the another one. We're not even gonna be scumbag. We'll just leave that in the hand. GG wanted to block and misclicked. Ouch. Yeah, that's a lot of health to just take in. You gave it a valiant effort, rolled all the way up to the final boss, and I just managed to find some Twilight Archons in time. Papa Goot South was in jeopardy there. And so we're going to add to our prize counter, failed attempts 5. At 5, what do? We add a booster. So we're going to have 2 Dead of Winter boosters in the current pack. Yeah, you're like, my deck's really bad. No, your deck did quite well. It pushed quite far. Alright, and so second up in the queue was Raptos, the show's official, unofficial #1 fan, the #1 challenger of Dungeon Masters of all time. Step on down! You are the next contestant on Dungeon Masters of Entrath. Fight the butterflies, fight many other decks in the name of prizes and glory. Raptos, Raptos, Raptos. I'm gonna guess you've got a deck ready. If not, you can just say no to this. But I'm gonna send you a challenge with butterflies. Second challenger of the night, Raptos, stepping on down into the dungeon. Alright, this is keepable. 2-drop, 3-drop. We've got basically three resources, because I will wait for a resource on this one. Raptos is going to roll up with Adani Zedek. But what is the verdict on his run? Will it meet success? Will it end in early failure? Definitely want Fortune to keep hitting some sard drops. Right now I think we go Whimsy Witch on 2, Party Fungi on 3. As Whimsy Witch is ready to swing. Let the Bluebell Dryad sit for a little bit, because I think that card is less important than some likely early high power damage. Daybreak and a Nightfall. But Raptos can't play Twilight Archon. Alright, so throw out the Witch of Whimsy. Might have to be the Party Fungi anyway, depending on what the draw is if we don't get a higher speed resource. 3 resources, 4 cards left in hand. No! Our plans have been unraveled. Lose a Wild Growth, lose a Pummel, so lose 2 combat tricks and a Wild Shard. Have a Daybreak. Our glorious plan already became wrecked. Well, you know the saying, no plan survives contact with the enemy. Alright, throwing another resource on top. Getting the Party Fungi out, just to have some presence, even though he's got nothing to transform right now. So every turn, we are losing 1 health right now, and Raptos is gaining 2. Nothing else has to happen, and now it's a 2 for 2. There has to be Twilight Eclipse in that deck. There's no way there's not a Twilight Eclipse in that deck. And so I think I want another resource to try to race for Coconomancer, basically. Because I need to start dropping bombs. To try to outrace what's going to happen if a Twilight Eclipse gets found here. Deal 1 point of damage. Raptos don't care. Gets 2 more health. Drops a Lux Guard. I hate this. You can have a card because I don't want to lose one of my 2 troops. Let's see how you handle this. You let it through, you take 7. I don't even think that's good enough, though. Did leave myself open to take 3 off the Lux Guard. And Umbral Guard. When you verdict, it deals damage equal to its power. When a troop enters a crypt, that gains 2 more power. I think that's probably the most common gem choice with that, which makes sense because you want to increase the power to do more damage per verdict. Okay. Uh, 7, 10, 13 is going full ham. And it doesn't seem good yet. Need to find some more troops or something to go with these tricks. Another Umbral Guard, so now verdicts are really gonna hurt. Going down to 9. Throw down Coconomancer, can't stop that. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. That would, with a swing from that. I could be dead next turn. I still think I need to attempt to crash in here. And there might be a path. Pay 3 to transform target troop you control into a Merry Butterfly. Well, that really hurts. That really hurts. That's the game, actually. Verdict, verdict, swing. Yep. Yep, you got us. You got us. Oh my god, nobody told me I had the map up that whole game. Oh, I am such a dope. Oh my god. I am so embarrassed with myself. I am a professional streamer. Seriously. We played the entire game and I had the map up the whole time. Yeah, we're gonna sponge that from any highlight reels. Alright, so Raptos, congratulations on your win that nobody clearly saw. Which direction would you like to go? Would you like room 5, 15, 2, or 8? And as soon as you have made your selection, I will properly get rid of the map this time. Alright, room 8. Map's gone. I'm not blocking people's view anymore. Shoot me a challenge when you're ready, and we shall roll on. God, I can't believe I did that. Oh, this time of year, I tell you, winter's just the worst. We are fighting room 8. Give Raptos a bit here before I send a challenge of my own, but reminder, players are allowed to use different decks between matches, as long as every deck used obeys the rules. So that's why I kind of say between matches is a little bit of sideboarding time, if you will. Feel free to revise if you know what the next deck is and you have something specifically designed to hate it out. It's a good way to go about it. And deck 8 is Ornithophobia, the fear of birds. Another one from our charity stream dungeon. but this time we get to go first. Gonna keep this. It's basically 3 shards. We have both thresholds, though we do need double. We do need to find double sapphire for a lot of this. But it's a fair start. Flying, flying, flying. That's what we want to do. Excellent. Alright, so we can throw down Cloud Runner. It's just a vanilla 2-2 flyer, but it requires 1 of Diamond and Sapphire Threshold. And now next turn we probably use the Well of Purpose for a second Sapphire. And that gets Thunderbirds going. Sapphire. Thunderbirds are go. To smack Adani Zedek in the face. Alright, 2 damage going through. Pass the turnover. Have to take 1 off of Nightfall. And I have an eyelash in my eye or something. No! Crushing, overwhelming guilt. Bye, Woolly Moa. I didn't want to have a phantom in the air to stop my parade. Except that I'm going to have a phantom in the air to stop my parade. Except that air superiority gives flying troops +2/+2, or +1/+1, so that actually makes it better than a phantom. Thank you, timely resource drops. Thunderbird. Air superiority. Look at all these set 1 cards. Blast from the past up in here. And swing with a 3/2 Thunderbird. Fiona Honeyfinch's power, troops without flight get -1 attacks, so that would do literally nothing on our current board state. More guilt. Have a daybreak. There's more guilt up in here than when my great-grandma comes to Christmas. No swing from the Phantom. Alright, Silver Talon Mandate. Let's get some Birdocrats up in here. Silver Talon Mandate makes 3 Birdocrats, which are just 1/1 flyers, except that air superiority made them bigger. Now, every time a troop readies, the debate token goes on Silver Talon Mandate, and when there's 6 tokens, the mandate comes back up into your hand so that it can be recast to make even more Birdocrats. Alright, so Gloaming Edict makes spirits bigger whenever a spirit's played. Oh, this is cruel. Air Evolution, target troop you control with gets flight, but the more important line of text is troops you control with flight get +1/+1. So we can make all of those flyers even bigger. Raptos says, nope! Nope! Nope. I'm out. Screw that Thrawn guy, he's a jerk. Flyer is OP. I want none of it. Good day, sir. Birdocrats actually... that was like the nuts draw. That deck has routinely failed to do what I ask it to. So I draw a little bit of Sick Dungeon Master pleasure every time it actually plays out the way I drew it up on the whiteboard. All right, so we're adding a Zodiac Crow Feather into the prize pool here. And close that off. We're at 6 attempts between a successful. You had the Twilight Eclipse in hand, but couldn't get it out due to shard screw. That sucks. That seems to be your lot in life sometimes. Have the nuts, and then the shards don't show up. That's too bad. Well, it's a really quiet crowd in here tonight. We've got just Stigma and Romos. I don't see anybody else in the viewer list. Nobody else has spoken up to chat. Romos, basically what I do when we're in a low population evening like this, and there's only 2 people who've spoken up and want to chat, is if both people want to keep making runs, then unless somebody else speaks up who's new, I would just alternate between the 2 of you for as long as you want to continue playing. So, Romos, if you would like another run, you would be up next, followed by Stigma again. Just let me know in chat if you want another run. In the meantime, I need to take a real quick break to use the men's here and refresh my water, because talking is thirsty work, and I will be right back. Alright folks, I'm back. Romos is good for now, wants to build another deck beforehand. Stigma, would you like another run? If so, let me know and we'll do you up. If you also would like to take a break for a while, then I will find another way to pass the time for a little bit. We very informal here in the Dungeon Master's realm. Excellent. Send me a challenge when you're ready, Raptos, and we shall do it. Sadly, low Hex viewer numbers across the board. Mokog on the official channel has just 28. Curtis Kapala has 20. We're at 3rd place with 2. Hex Manifesto has 2. King Luffy XP has 2. need more traffic in our game, folks. Alright, time to whip out the fear of butterflies again. Accept. Ooh, the ghost of Palpatine alert of times past that I failed to get rid of. Says maybe we had a new follower? We do. AWOL LSD has pledged allegiance to the Empire. Thank you, thank you. Welcome. Hope you are enjoying the one and only Hex Game show. Butterflies want to go first this time. This is... it's a little bit slow. It's trick, one troop. But we got 2 sources of Fate Weave for resources right here. So we should be reasonably okay about hitting drops. And so for that reason, the first time I'm going to seek some adventure. Maybe the second time I think about doing a resource, depending on what we pull. Actually, it's pretty likely the second time I go resource because I want to make sure that I hit 4. That'd be 2, 3, plus the Fate Weave makes 4. That's going to make the majority of this deck playable. Alright, so in comes Vesper. Vesper's going to get bigger off of all the constants we know are in there. Right, you know what? Whimsy Witch is good. I'm going to go Slow Shard. Jam that down right now. If we draw a regular shard, the play might be Wild Growth into Battle of Destiny on something, and then swing in for a bunch. Or no, it'd be swing, Wild Growth, and then Battle of Destiny because don't want to risk losing any damage stacks. Get our Star Wars dance party going on up in here. No shard drop? Or am I losing track of the turns? Yeah, I want a shard drop. Can't block it. I'm not going to bother using any tricks. We already had a Fate Weave, so I don't feel the need to double Fate Weave. Alright, here comes Shard into Excessive Guilt or Crippling Guilt or whatever it's called. Overwhelming Guilt. I could have made that invincible, and I didn't do it. I really screwed that up. Opposing troops get +1/+1 because giving Raptus a Nightfall would accomplish the exact same thing. Plus, then I'm taking a point of damage every turn for it. Not ideal. Alright. Gotta seek some adventure and try to find some things that do things. That's gonna turn into a Merry Squirrel, though very sadly. Don't have the resources to Battle of Destiny. I need to like get in the habit of working out before I stream or something just to get my energy levels up and endorphins going because I feel really pathetic yawning while I'm trying to stream and it's only 8:15, but it's 8:15 and it's like dark as if it was 10 o'clock outside in my defense. Block it. Nope, not gonna fall for that trap. It's only a secret the first time. When draw a resource the second time, they know it's coming. Another overwhelming guilt. Alright, I'll get rid of the replay on that. And I gotta take 6. Alright, Party Fungi goes Super Saiyan. Becomes a 4/6. It's going to Battle of Destiny. That. Stop that from getting even bigger. We'll seek some adventure. And we'll swing for 4. It is a wide open battle. Though in the Halls of Justice with some shard drops could make that uneven in a hurry. Gonna have to eat a verdict. Crap. And can I live and look at your crypt? I don't think I can. So I either have to get rid of the Party Fungi or give you your Vesper back. Sorry, Fungi. That one hurt. That one really hurt. So I'm gonna put my faith in Whimsy Witch and trust that that's gonna transform into something better. I wouldn't mind a shard here as the draw, because then Bluebell and Battle of Destiny can be played at the same time. Oh, stop it. Because now, wow, this has to be quick. Stop it! Now I take 3 and pretty much dead next turn. Let's see if there's any salvation to be had. Are you kidding me? Come on! Come on! It turns into a 0-5 defensive wall. The level of fail is staggering. Here, kill me harder. That was so bad. Alright, so butterflies meet their defeat again. Are we doing room 8 again this time, Raptos? Do we go room 2, 5, or 15 and take a different path? What is it gonna be? have to say that's the first. The verdict train led to some very painful decisions on my end because I knew it repeatedly wanted me to give you the Vesper back, and I repeatedly did not want to give you the Vesper back, and that made life unfun for me. Okay, my music ungimped. Verdict's good. Let's go 2. All right. Take down the dungeon map. Send me a challenge when you're ready, Raptos, and we shall do room 2. Live for 1 hour and 11 minutes thus far. Started late. Had some other things going on. Couldn't quite get the stream set up in time. Bring up the dungeon map while Raptos is getting ready. So we've had 2 of the final bosses fall. And room 2 again is zoophobia, which is the fear of animals. I am going to remember to take the map down this time. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 final bosses remaining. And that gives me time to work on the big next dungeon, which is going to probably have over 100 well over 100 decks when everything is done. Alright, I'm going to risk and keep this because 2 Mama Yetis and a Buffalord is kind of the dream. Wild Ice guarantees that we're going to get 3 out of the 4 resources. And there's the 4th. Seeking Fortune. And that way the 4-drop rain is guaranteed to start on time. Buffalord Diligence, summon a random non-unique buffalo. And then while you have a buffalo of each of the different thresholds, your buffaloes get different superpowers. So going to use the Well of Savagery for another wild threshold, because for some reason Trotting Buffalo as a vanilla 2-3 for 2 requires that you have double wild threshold to be able to play it. You really got to commit to the wild if you want to roll with a Trotting Buffalo. If you are not hardcore enough in your passion for wild, you cannot be a Buffalo Whisperer. And a 3-3 Dawnsteed is... Oh, come on. Let me give you a card. Might not be the right decision. No, I can't block that anyway. Look at this! Boom, boom, boom! We're gonna swing, and if that's blocked... Alright, we would Wild Growth there. We won't right now. It's raining Yetis! Hallelujah, it's raining Yetis. Yep, you use that now! It's fine. Reptus is going to be so pissed when he sees on the next few turns play out. One Yeti. Ha ah ah. Two Mama Yeti. Ah ah ah. Alright, so Daybreak Diviner will create another one drop constant, Guiding Light. I think that does a Fate Weave when it comes into play, yep. And when you play a resource, gain 1 health. No swings. Oh, this is savage. This is savage. Alright, get a resource. Play a Mama Yeti. Make that Mama Yeti even huger. Now, Pheromones, an old set 1 uncommon. Troop gets opposing troops must block this if able this turn. Therefore, both of those troops have to block this. They're both going to get wiped, and 3 damage is still going to get pushed through. And then the other Mama Yeti just cracks for 5. We ain't afraid of Verdict. Mama Yeti don't care about no verdict. Mama Yeti's just sprayed on a little bit of perfume. Gotta look fine for them spirits. Cruel sentence. Draw a card, lose 1 health, verdict. Here, have a Daybreak. I'm not giving up a Yeti. Look at all them constants. Alright, and sure, we'll knock down the Yetis a little bit. Have a Daybreak. Alright, now let's Raptus is a good sport, so let's induce a little bit of rage. Trips Yetis. Just well, kaboom! And that is a real Mama Yeti getting. Poor Raptos. There's a reason Raptos is getting written into the next dungeon. We're gonna go to 8,000 gold in the prize pool. That was pretty nuts, with 2 Mama Yetis in the opening hand and then finding a third by turn 4. You can killer space. Decks are common and uncommon cards only, except that you may use rare resources. And the format is immortal. Can you have a go so you can hate life? That's the spirit. Stigmabuster hates pheromones with a burning passion, which is exactly why I like it so much. It's obnoxiously powerful, and that's probably why that's probably the real reason why it's never been reprinted. Killer Space, remind me your in-game name. And either so that I can whisper you or send a whisper to me. Thrawn, spelling right there. And then we can get the show on the road when you're ready. We're going to play it by ear a little bit. I don't know that I'm going to go my full stream length tonight. because I want to make sure I'm catching up, getting enough sleep. This week has been brutal at work. I need to get into the office a little bit early to try to catch up on some things. And then tomorrow night, I have tickets for a 10:20 p.m. showing of The Last Jedi. So, in 26 hours or so, my eyeballs will be graced with the next chapter of the Star Wars saga. I am super hyped for that. Whisper. Aka. Big. Bird. Red Big Bird. Alright, let's go ahead and send me a challenge. Remember to make it immortal, please. Because if it's not an immortal challenge, then virtually none of my decks are going to correctly show up for me to choose. We'll have our third unique person rolling up in the dungeon tonight. Alright, and as all challengers must, the first step to transcendence and prizes is to fight the fear of butterflies. I feel like when you finally beat a dungeon, a meteor is going to smash into Earth or Yellowstone supervolcano will explode. Or I call up Pandemica and have him put together this really over-the-top You're a winner package just for you that will then never end up playing. No, I kid. I do need to contact him about some stuff for the next dungeon, but that requires me to write it first. And I haven't, and I've been putting all of my effort into actually just making enough decks the base level content is ready to go. Alright, so we lost 2 Coconomancers and a Spellsong Sweeties. That may actually be a favor. I'm going to seek some adventure. Although Fate Weave almost feels like a mistake against a mill deck. Twisted Fate, old school. When you draw a card, bury the top card of each opposing champion's deck. Lose another Spellsong Sweeties and a Wild Ice. Yeah, Fate Weave is kind of a mistake against that deck. In the Shadow, I believe, was an original Set 1 champion. Nice to see somebody going old school. And fall into despair at the start of your turn, bury the top 2 cards of each opposing champion's deck. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to throw down the Bluebell Dryad, because then when this transforms, I get a card out of it. Oh, Coconomancer. I actually actively dislike Coconomancer right now because it's so expensive. And I'm bleeding 3 cards a turn. Just passively. Ugh. I believe this is one of those moments where we care more about celebrating the things we do have and less worrying about the things we don't have, because it's Christmas. Alright, so here's the how you play this like a professional. You wild growth the thing. And then you Battle of Destiny to get rid of that. And the Fate Weave doesn't even matter. You know what, Adventure, it's going to get milled away. I actually want resources. And we slap for 9. No! Another fall into despair. Alright, so can I deal damage faster than that mill train gets going now? Because the path is open. Succulent Cluckanown. Alright, so Psionic Acolyte can block a thing. Now these are guaranteed sources of damage. I think I spam F4 and I swing with everything. Pummel the block. Well, it doesn't, actually it doesn't matter, because that's 3-6, that's 7-8, so don't need to do that. But butterflies are gonna take it. Killer Space. Knocked out by Puff the Rainbow on the first room. Good games. No shame in getting knocked out of the first room. Ask Raptos. Raptos is extremely... Well, extremely is overselling it. Raptos is familiar with being knocked out on the first room. And he keeps coming back for more. Like a true trooper. A glutton for punishment. Can you try again? I'm fairly certain you can. Stigma, do you care? Stigma or Romos would technically be next in line, but they've both had a couple cracks at it today. So I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to take executive decision and say yes, you can jump the queue and roll again. So yeah, just shoot me another challenge when you're ready. You're going to have to start against the same deck again. Yeah, Romo's deck building anyway. So yeah, go ahead and shoot me a challenge when you're ready. And we'll start you from the top. Stigma Raptos agrees. Let him go again. We're all unanimous. Step on down. Get a free redo. I think I did update the prize pool. Yes, I did. This is fine. Badgers, 2 Whimsy Witches is good. We'll keep it. Party Fungi is... Oh god, Party Fungi is savage if this goes the right way. Gonna put a resource on top. I would like to draw a resource if possible. And hey, look at that. I'm gonna get to draw my resource. No, I'm not. Derp. Don't get excited about what you Fate Weave when you're playing against... Alright, so we're going to play the slow shot or the regular resource to get Whimsy Witch down on time. And pass it back over. Lost another resource. See, if this was a more expensive deck, that mill would be just savaging me. Because would need more resources to get going. Oh, crap. Like, right now, I'm going to bury 3 cards. So I'm actually going to do the crazy thing and put a non-resource on top, knowing I'm going to lose it. And just swing in with a thing that became a 2/2. Lost a Party Fungi, a Runic Chrysalis. Lost a Wild Growth. Alright. Here's where things get sick. Oh, that's even filthier. I mean, those are strong hits. All you need is 1 Party Fungi. Psionic Barrage. Alright, so we're down to half of a deck already. Once again, I'm going to put Adventure on the top because I kind of think I want resources. And I'm only swinging with those. Oh god, that one actually hurts. Or does it revert first? I can't remember. That would deal 9 damage to us theoretically. I'm actually shifting the power off to deal myself just 1 point of damage a turn to make sure I don't actually deal myself 9. Down to 18 cards in the deck. But I think the Whimsy Witches just are going to do the trick on their own. That one's a flying 6. Okay. Romo says, I have a super stupid deck inbound. Killer Space deck very aggressively chewing up my deck. Got through half to you know, minimum of 50 up to 75% of the deck really very quickly. But I think the struggle that deck has, at least from what we saw, that was a lack of removal to stop me from what I'm doing. Do you need Killer Space? Do you need Strangles or any of the kind of base removal cards like that? Because that might help. I mean, it doesn't play into the mill synergies you're going for, but it helps you buy some time for that stuff to go off if you're trying to stop your opponent from doing the stupid things I'm trying to do with Transform. So if there's any I have no idea how extensive your collection is, but if there's any bulk removal stuff you're looking for, I might be able to help hook you up. I knew he was forgetting to add something. Because you're milling very quickly, but which is good. Send the challenge. Alright, so Romo says this is dumb. Or actually, his words were, I have a super stupid deck inbound. I already know it's stupid because it's Wintermoon. Yeah, this is fine. probably start with the sapphire ice. Grab a third resource. And we go... Huh. Yeah, Spellsong Sweeties isn't that great without anything ready to transform. But it's there. Party Fungi is fun, but I prefer to kind of wait on deploying that until there's already something out that's going to transform. Huh. Alright, you know what, we're actually going to slow roll this even more. Grab another resource. So this might be Party Fungi, Spellsong Sweeties. Okay. Or actually these two on 3 resources. And then Poppy Pixie would basically make 2 of the Merry Squirrels. Alright, what are we ramping to? Because there's 2 Howling Braves there that gained a temporary resource and a Palm of Granite to pull resources out of the deck. So it feels like Romo is trying to build up to something. Actually, do I want to just Party Fungi? Party Fungi. Battle of Destiny to get rid of one of these. What are we ramping to? Lol, absolutely nothing. No verdict of it. Well, fine. Now with the Party Fungi on the board, these would turn into 9/9 squirrels. Alright, so Thunderfield Seer, next action in your deck gets draw a card added onto it. I still have absolutely no idea where Romo is going with this. Let's play the Bluebell Dryad and actually turn that into a Merry Butterfly. No! No! Charge power! Killer of fun. Killer of fun. Draws a card, plays a resource. Plays another resource. Throws some things back in the deck. Alright, where are you going with this deck, Romos? Why did they get... Why is this one a 12/12? Grinch, the rules are immortal format, common and uncommon only decks, except that you may use rare resources, like the wells, to help with consistency. There's currently no ban list. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so Romo's a quarter of the way through his deck, and I have no idea what's going on here. Squirrels just want to hug your face. That was actually the last of my transformation tricks. We're almost like, nope, nope, sorry, nope, done. Man, you didn't get a single interesting card. I'm like, I'm over here waiting and waiting. I'm like seeing all of this ramp and some control. I'm like, what's the big thing? What's the big thing? I'm kind of disappointed too that you never found it. It's rough too because you got a quarter of the way through your deck, so we would have hoped. All right, we were at 10. Flooded plus ramp actions. That's a dangerous combo. You're building a ramp to nowhere and falling off the cliff. So that's failed attempt number 10. We're adding another Dead of Winter booster into the prize pool. Current prize pool stands at 10,000 gold, 3 Dead of War boosters, a Flufftail Cloud Killer, Prepare for War, Paired Power, Zodiac Crowfeather, Rift Warp, sorry, I'm good with words, Badger. So 3 boosters, 10,000 gold, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pretty much bulk rares. But hey, it's free stuff you get for throwing down in some casual games with me. Grinch Victe. If you have a deck ready and you wanted to throw down, let me know. Since you have not challenged the dungeon at all tonight, we would give you the opportunity to roll up in here. Otherwise, for everybody else who's been hanging out, if you want to have another run, let me know that you'd still be interested in going. I'm just going to take a quick peek at the viewer list. Yeah, I'm showing Stigmas in here, Grinch Victe, Romos. Yeah, most of your rock decks have no rare shards. Well, you're not obviously you're not required to use the rare shards, but it is an additional benefit that I give to you because games are best of one, and I would like as few games as possible to be decided by threshold variance as the reason that the game went down in flames. So people who have the wells, the wells in particular, but I do leave it open to all rare resources that you can go ahead and roll up with them. Let's take a quick dive into my collection here. Yeah, aka the dungeon master doesn't want you to end up shard screwed like Raptos is almost every run. Something bad happens to Raptos. By the way, since Raptos is here and our viewer count's rather low, so it's not going to be a big spoiler to a lot of people. Raptos, your character in the next dungeon, you are Raptos the Undying, where the dungeon master keeps killing you, and then you find that you keep waking up, kind of like a Dark Souls thing, where you're dead and then you're awake and you have to fight again, and the constant cycle of death and rebirth has driven you insane, and you're out to kind of kill the dungeon master and end the world because you want the constant cycle of death and having to try all over again. You want it to end. You need it to end. I still need to build your decks. So this is one of the decks in the next dungeon. PG2 stands for the Prismatic Gold Tower. The early floors are singleton. Gold means you can use rares, but you can't use legendaries unless you're the dungeon master and you cheat. I've been using this in singles night, playing with it. I went 1 and 2 in both singles nights. So I think part of it was just really drawing badly. Part of it was me not playing very well. Part of it is the deck may not just be that great in a competitive setting, but it's fun. End the pain! Won't you end the pain? Please, someone end the pain! If it be the Elder Ones from the other dimension, I welcome them. Team Cult of the Nameless City. And for one of the towers, is going to be Gold Division, which is basically constructed decks, except Immortal constructed, except that you can't use legendaries. And I am banning Lasgar's Vengeance from the format too. But one of the decks I built is called St. Patrick's Day. I've actually had this deck for quite a while, because every year on St. Patrick's Day I jump into the ladder with a mono wild deck and just try to troll people. And so this is what I was using last time. Claberdons, Lullabies, which have since rotated, Might Singer of Ages, Acolytes of Shoku to help ramp up, the Runir Hierophants, Head when you play a resource it gets bigger, and Steadfast and Skyguard. I think some of these with gem rotation, I don't think this is how I think this stuff probably needs to be regemmed actually. Crocosaur, Heart of the Wrathwood. Good old wholesome fun. But I am an anomaly, and I keep begging. I have like messaged Chris Woods about this before, and others, like, do me a favor and give me deck lists or deck folders, please. Because here's the few decks I kind of like play on the ladder and stuff. But then since all this is a scroll list, is I have to come up with naming conventions to help distinguish what deck it belongs to or where it is in the dungeon. Like F for filler, because that's kind of where I'm shamelessly calling this dungeon the filler dungeon while I'm making decks for the next one. And then what number it is to correspond with, where it falls on the dungeon map, so that I can find it again when somebody says that's the deck they want to play. And so all of these filler decks, most of these are going to get rolled into the very huge encounter list for the next dungeon. But then gold is all those decks that I've been making. PG for Prismatic Gold, I've started making some decks for that. Prismatic Silver is another one of the dungeons, so I've got 6 decks ready for that. Silver, these are additional decks that are going into that tower. So as you can see, and then there's the Time Tower, which is block constructed from different set chapters. So this is my huge scroll list of decks, and this is only a fraction of how long it's going to be by the time that next dungeon is done. The first world problems of a content creator. Alright. Grinch, let's do it. I think your name's is the same. Alright, so yep, just shoot me the challenge when you're ready and we will roll. Butterfly time. Batman, Batman. I'll keep this. Not the best hand. But we have a turn 1 and we have a turn 2. Alright, Grinch Ficte playing Papagoot. Get goot or get out. Turn on the witch, I think, first. Poke for 1 with the badger. Oh, I will happily sacrifice the badger to soak up a repel. All day, every day. Adamanthian Scrivener, the Holiday AA. When a troop enters, play under your control, gain a health. Yeah, get good. Get good, noob. Don't you know how to play Hex? Alright, I'm gambling that there's not a 4-drop with 1 defense. Anything on this text matter? No. Got jump with Crush, which is fortunate for blocking, but... Alright, it's the Wonder Twins revert. This is a little greed, because part of me feels like maybe the thing is to leave resources open for tricks. No! No! Here, I just said 1 turn ago. I don't think there's a 4-drop with 1 defense. So bad. Wrecked right when party fungi is like ready to tag in too. Punished. Sorry, the dungeon can't always smash, right? The dungeon has to fail sometimes. Have a daybreak. All right, let's put the fear. Let's pit the fear of our Lord Puffin into Granch Victe's heart here and throw down double party fungi. Another adamantine scrivener. Alright, filed under recipe for heartache. Swing with a 10-ton butterfly. Away! And it's gone. That was pretty much the expected outcome. So we've sucked up a Frost Blast, or 2 Frost Blasts and a Repel. I forget even what you had in there, but I'm going to give you a troop back. Yeah, that's fine. That's not. Twilight Eclipse is very much not fine. Such battle, much destiny. I don't even know that it's worth swinging. No. Just gonna put my party fungi in a box. Party fungi is locked up in that box. I'm not even sure there's much of substance for troops in there. Seek some adventure. Gotta try to find something to get out of this. I will go ahead and swing this time. Not even keeping pace with Goot's health gain, though. The 6/6 Adamantine Scrivener. 34 health. I got a handful of tricks and no troops. I actually kind of have to block that. They're still dead and like, no, no, tricks, tricks. I think we know how. I think we know which way this one's going.
Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave a like on the video and maybe even subscribe if you're feeling extra generous. I would also like to thank you all for supporting my work by watching my videos here on YouTube and buying my songs. But a special thank you to you.
All right, pass it over. We're dead in 2 turns. Dead in 2 turns. don't think it matters. Well, I really don't want you to have like a super troop back, so I'll just suck it up. $52-4, your score. In room 1 of the dungeon, Granch Victe telling the dungeon master he needs to get good, or I'm sorry, get goot. Ain't no thang, while he just casually, 4 or 5 times over multiplies the health. Not scared of any butterflies. Yeah, we're just gonna get clocked here. Boom! First dungeon room is gone. Granch Victe moving on, and now has the choice of rooms 5, 15, 2, or 8 as to where we are going next in the dungeon. And that will dictate Granch Victe's route, what final boss they may ultimately face. 6 of the 8 final bosses are still in play. 2 final bosses have been defeated. So, just in case Grinch didn't pop right back into chat, room 5, 15, 2, or 8. Just need Grinch to pick a number. No idea, so 5. Challenge, Immortal. Room 5 is... Oh, he picked the bounce castle, y'all. Actually, his deck probably smashes the bounce castle because there weren't very many troops there. Snap keep. Daring Freebooters. I really want to get to 4 to get some value out of the Mystic Naturalist here. Lovely. Alright, 1 resource away. It's really low on their technical improvement radar, but I'd love to see where it says target troop and there's literally only 1 choice. It would be nice if the game just automatically made that choice for you. Streamline the game a little bit. There was only 1 possible troop to stun. Alright, so next turn we have a Mystic Naturalist. But this turn we are going to stun all troops with 1 power. Boom. Get wrecked. Swing for 2. I think that's more important than a couple charges here because Daughter of Stars board wipe's not that great against a deck where all the troops cost 1. The amount of damage that's going to do would be very, very, very minimal. Alright, so summoning the Daybreak. Get Mystic Naturalist down. And hope that that gets to live long enough to do its job. If that stays at 2-2, I think I trade these. No! No! The Mystic Naturalist is going in a box. Alright. I'll take that. Alright, let's stun that Vesper yet again. And go ahead and pass the turnover. Lots of stun and tempo here, but none of the no game-ending threats, and that's a Twilight Eclipse. That didn't really help. Gotta try to do some damage to counter the health gain that's coming here. No, everything going in boxes.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy. You must be cautious.
Alright, you're going back in the hand. Okay. Really no offensive threats here. Bounce Castle is in deep trouble. Did that not do as much damage as I think it should have?
The force will be with you.
Alright, get back in the hand. I realize I'm not really doing you any major disservice, because it's coming right back down. And you got 2 health out of it. Alright, yay, a Cyclone Shaman, which will help me try to eventually pull out a resource to buy more time. Alright, and so just in the interest of fair disclosure to everybody who's watching, I'm looking at the clock and it's 9:20 right now. Just with what I have going on tomorrow, I am going to wrap up the stream a little early tonight, so we're going to call it after Grinch Vic Day's run here. I will be back next week, so get your decks ready. We'll be doing the same dungeon because I'm not going to have the... oh man, that's brutal. I'm not going to have the next dungeon quite ready to go yet. Alright, hey, we lived long enough to use our superpower. Get all that crap in your hand. And now I get to swing for an amazing 2 points of unfettered damage, which does absolutely nothing to the state of the board. From 9 to 4, dead in a turn. Two Adamanthian Scriveners, okay. The 6/6 Vesper. 48 to 4. Might as well go down swinging. No! Did get the uptick on it though. All right, Grinch Victe wins again. That was room 5. All right, I need to get into whispers. Next. 6, 18, or 11. And that is the direction that Grinch is going to go. You were up to your 3rd try. Yeah, I can't. I just cannot risk staying up late tonight. Sorry, Romo. Hey, Grinch is only getting 1. But don't worry, I'll be back next week. The show's not going anywhere. So I designed it, all paths require 4 games, no matter which direction you go. Alright, later, Stigma, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate your continued support as well. So Grinch picking a path. Wants to go sequential. Alright, 6 into 7. Alright, what is 6? 6 is zombies. The keen mortophobia, the fear of zombies. This was the starting deck in the last edition of the dungeon, but it got bumped later into where we currently have things. This is fine. We'll keep this. Wish that some of the resources were quicker so I could do first rights on turn 1. We'll Fate Weave for another resource. Make sure that continue to hit some drops. And first rights is going to get played next turn, I think, even though it kind of slows things down, because that adds, it's going to add 4 death cries to this hand, which is very valuable. Alright, so at 4 resources now in hand, I'm going to go ahead and seek some adventure. Play first rights. And pass the turn. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No third shard off the top. That means we're gonna have a chance to make a move here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw down the Relentless Zombie. And just pass. 4 resources, maybe probably a Blight Seed and a Voracious Zombie. The early first rights is super strong here, and Grinch being stuck on 2 is super bad. Also under things that are good, getting a Call to the Grave. Swing for 2. I think this game, unfortunately for Grinch, this game might already be over. With the combination of first rights and the fact that I have curved and they have not is pretty brutal. Alright, so Vesper's gonna grow, 3 resources now. That is a deck that has some tools to get rid of this kind of action, though. The Decree of Banishings and the box, Solitary Exile or whatever that card is, those would take these off the board without triggering their death cries. Solitary Exile, that's the one. I have the ability to sacrifice it in response, so it's not actually going anywhere. But that's a one-shot power, so can't do that a whole bunch. Blight Seed Cultivator, again continuing the unrelenting savagery. Gonna let us go wide. Swing, I think, with everything. Gotta try to do as much damage as possible as fast as possible. Alright, the scales are gonna bring that back. Bring it back even stronger. It is now a 5/5. Another Blight Seed Cultivator. So the Death Cry, super shenanigans. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. And then we have a huge wall of zombies. Yeah, Grinch on 1. So pretty much one swing next turn is going to go. Aww. The thing that sucks most is my wife is now annoyed that I didn't eat dinner with her. Well, yeah, this, you know, do family things. All right, let's put an end to Grinch Victe's misery. All right, Repel's gonna kill a thing. Pick a thing, anything. Like I said, for those just tuning in, I apologize. You caught me at a really awkward time because Grinch's run is going to be the last run of the night. I'm wrapping up the stream a little bit early tonight because I've got some things going on at work tomorrow, and I'm going to be up very late tomorrow for a late showing of The Last Jedi. Because I have Star Wars fever that knows no bounds. But, okay, we're going to add a Might and Malice into the prize queue. And you have been watching Dungeon Masters of Entrath. This is the one and only Hex game show. I stream live on my channel every Wednesday night from 7. Usually I run 7 to 10. This is an atypically short week by about 40 minutes. I ended up starting about 15 minutes late, and I'm closing down shop about a half an hour early. But I will be back next week. I'm working on a huge new dungeon to look forward to. It's going to be the first dungeon that actually has kind of a storyline to it. It's going to have more decks than any dungeon before. And it's really 5 different dungeons rolled into one, so people are going to have a lot of choice about what format you want to play in when you're challenging the dungeon, which is going to be nice. It's also likely that more individual people are going to be getting prizes. The prize pools are going to be smaller per person individually than one person building up a huge, grand, big prize pool. But I think that's going to be nice to get a little bit more people rewarded for participation than one just huge winner. So I'm really excited for that. That's going to be coming up. Hopefully, I'm going to try to get that ready to roll and all set in the next couple weeks here. But that'll do it for me tonight. I want to thank you all for hanging out again. You will definitely be seeing more of me next week, sooner than you might think.